So I just pulled this driver board out of a Junkyard Wars. It would periodically crash. I thought it was it was bad 5 volts because a lot of these WPC type boards have that bad 5 volts or weak 5 volts. So I put the little 5 volt daughter board on the MPU. It basically makes the 12 volt, the 5 volts directly off the 12 volt for the MPU board that sits where my hand would be in the game. And that didn't fix the problem. And then I realized that sometimes if I hit a certain solenoid, it would, if it or powered up a lot of the solenoids, that would cause it to crash. It was like the 12 volts or the solenoid voltage, the 40 volts was pulling it down, or sometimes the flashers. If I had to hit a bunch of flashers going off. So anyway, I just pulled this thing off. I'm just looking around. I just started by doing diode testing all these diodes, and one of them was out of whack. I think it's that fourth one there. Let me put you all on the stand and I'll show you. So on these diodes, the banded is the negative side. So if you put your meter on the diode test, you ought to get between 0.4 and 0.7. Like these are all 0.5 or 0.5 and a half. Except for that one's not. And so that is almost certainly a bad diode. All the rest of these are all testing good. Trust me, I did all those earlier. And haven't tested these other ones right here. I know my screen's out of field, but these are all 0.5, 0.5. So that one right there is a bad biscuit. I don't know if I need to go look at the schematics and see what that feeds. So most of these WPCs, well, this is like, I don't know, this is like there's the WPC, there's WPCS, there's the WPC-95, whatever. There's several different versions. Most of them have bridge rectifiers. This one, the later one, has the individual diodes doing essentially the same thing. So 4 of these would normally be encased in a single rectifier, but these 4 diodes are basically the same thing. And somebody swapped out some of these, like those 2 have been swapped. That one's been swapped. That one looks like it's been swapped. So some of these have been pulled and replaced already. But I'm going to pull and replace that one right there. But before I do, I want to see, we can dig out the schematics and see what that goes to. I'm betting that goes to the, well, I don't know, solenoid voltage maybe? Whatever it is, I'm surprised, but the game will boot and play for a while. I'm surprised it does anything with that bad diode. I guess it's just kind of bad. I don't know. I guess first thing I'll do is I'll yank it out of there and test it out of circuit. Usually you can test the diodes in circuit and that works fine. Sometimes not. So it should be this one right here. Where's my solder sucker? There it is. See if I got it loose. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. So let's check that sucker one more time out of circuit. Yeah, for sure, that's bad. I don't know if that's a cause of my problem, but that is a problem that is getting fixed right now. So see what size. So it's a 6 amp. I think I've got some 6 amps. Okay, let me look. All right, so I got another 6 amp diode. I'll slide it in here. some of these don't look great. I'm gonna clean the rest of this up, and there's just, I don't know why there's mud and dirt looking at, surely that's not salt, like flux, but it looks, maybe it was flux and then it attracted the dirt to it. I don't know, but it doesn't look very great, and it's gonna be hard to solder with all the dirt embedded in there. So I'm gonna get some alcohol and a toothbrush and clean it up, and then try to touch those up a little bit. All right, I'll let that dry. Get blotted off a little bit. Yeah, somebody cut these things off a little too short. Like that one there is a little fractured. Some of these are just not, I don't know if they went through the other side very well. Yeah, they did. That one did not come through very well. I'm just gonna hit them all real quick and try to get them soldered in there a little bit better. So I pulled up the WPC-95 schematics, and there's D12, so it's part of this bridge here, and that's making 18 volts. So, which I think is running the lamps on this game. So I believe this game takes that 18 volts and it chops it, so it's on basically on and off, on and off, on and off. So it's only on about a third of the time. So it gets on an average of 6 volts. And I think it might also use that 18 volts for the flashers, because that was one of the things I saw when the flashers were going. That would cause it to reboot. In any case, these are only things that's kind of hard to track down when you've got these intermittent problems when it reboots kind of intermittently. Short of putting it back in the game and playing it for some extended period of time and it not crashing, like having faith that it's fixed. I mean, that was these rectifiers, you know, diodes in a sense would be the caps would be the other thing. The caps don't look bad just visually. So I am going to throw it back in the game and maybe play a little Junkyard and see if I can get it to crash. All right, so it's back in the game. Boot it up, or try to boot it up. Okay, geez. I was about 1 second longer than I was comfortable with. All right, well, it's booted. Let's see if it'll start a game.
I'm Crazy Bob.
Well, now comes a hard work. I'm going to have to put the back glass in there and just sit here and play some Junkyard. I guess somebody's got to do it. I'll let you know if it crashes or not. All right, I played several games. Tough work. Somebody's got to do it. And nothing crashed, so I'm marking this one. Good. I had it written down. Week 12 volt, week 5 volt. The 5 was fine. It was just it was actually the 18 volt was dragging the whole thing down. Yeah, that's right. So this thing needs some flippers. It's a flipper rebuild. They're pretty shot. Needs to be cleaned. Put some new rubbers. I think I'm gonna go with clear rubbers on this thing. Yeah, the posts are all the wax. You can't see it there. See all the wax in those posts. I hate that. Anyway, clean this thing up a little bit. I think it's probably going to go out. I don't know. I may sell it. I may put it on route. It's a pretty fun game. People like this game. I like this game. Yeah. So it's got a brand new plastic set. I know that because it's got the keychain. Well, I don't know, brand new, but it's pretty new. Definitely a replacement plastic set. The playfield's really nice. It's dirty, but that's just ball trail there. You know, that will come right off. Just a little slobber, and it comes off. This thing's gonna clean up the ramps. I would guess those are replacement ramps. They don't look broken or beat up, and they're still pretty clear. So usually game this vintage, they're gonna be cloudy and they're broken at the entrances, although this one's pretty well guarded. Anyway, again, nice game. I think I'll rebuild these flippers and sick Jane on cleaning this thing up, and either we'll mark it for sale or we'll put it on route, one or the other.